An absolute, heart-stopping medical emergency nightmare just leaked live across social media, and millions of hip-hop fans around the world are currently in a state of sheer, unadulterated panic. We thought Rick Ross was pushing a brand new era of luxury fitness, but what his girlfriend accidentally caught on camera during an unscripted outdoor broadcast has officially turned the entire Maybach empire upside down. Stepping out into a freezing, torrential rainstorm for what was supposed to be a routine motivational fitness walk, Rick Ross's girlfriend hit go on a live stream, unknowingly broadcasting the most terrifying, painful, and shocking physical breakdown in modern rap history. As the rain poured down, Ross's famous "health is wealth" catchphrases completely dissolved into agonizing gasps for air, visible chest pain, and a look of sheer, terrifying exhaustion on his pale, dripping face. But it gets so much worse. Rivals and internet trolls immediately jumped on the footage, using the terrifying leak to claim that Ross's biggest boss image is nothing more than a fragile, dangerous cover-up for a severe, life-threatening medical decline. Stay right where you are, because what Ross's girlfriend accidentally dropped at the 6-minute mark changes everything forever. To truly understand the overwhelming panic and emotional whiplash currently ripping through the hip-hop community, you have to look at the deeply complex, high-stakes relationship Rick Ross has had with his health and body image over his 20-year career. William Leonard Roberts, too, the biggest boss himself, built a multi-million-dollar brand on raw, unshakable dominance. At his commercial peak, Ross leaned into his massive stature, turning his 300-plus-pound frame into a global symbol of untouchable luxury, power, and wealth. However, behind the champagne toasts, exotic cars, and platinum records, a quiet, terrifying medical timer was ticking in the background. Fans with long memories remember the dark, horrifying moments in Ross's past when his physical health forced him to his knees. Back in 2011, the world held its breath when Ross suffered two severe, back-to-back seizures on private flights within 6 hours of each other, forcing emergency landings and sending him straight to the ICU. Then, in 2018, lightning struck again when Ross was found unresponsive in his Florida mansion, reportedly hooked up to an ECMO machine, a life support system that takes over heart and lung functions after suffering another catastrophic, health-related collapse. Boston 25 News +1. Those terrifying medical scares were supposed to be the ultimate wake-up call. Ross publicly promised his family, his label, and his millions of fans that he was turning his life around. He rebranded himself. He launched a high-profile health is wealth movement, showing off weight loss, promoting organic farming on his 300-acre promised land estate in Georgia, and constantly posting videos of himself doing morning walks, swimming laps, and preaching longevity. For years, that health is wealth mantra served as Ross's primary defense shield. Whenever rivals questioned his stamina or brought up his age, Ross would simply post a video from his estate, smiling, drinking green juice, and showcasing his active lifestyle. He convinced the entire world that he had outrun his medical demons, built an invincible physical routine, and mastered the balance between heavy luxury living and peak physical fitness. Enter his current girlfriend, a high-profile, social media-savvy influencer who routinely documents their jet-setting lifestyle, luxury dates, and private estate moments for millions of eager online followers. She became the primary camera lens through which the public viewed Ross's daily life, constantly filming him in casual, unedited moments that gave fans an intimate look behind the Maybach curtain. YouTube. The quiet tension began building over recent weeks during Ross's high-pressure media runs and grueling travel schedules. Industry insiders began whispering that Ross was pushing himself way past his physical limits to keep up with demanding promotional dates, late-night appearances, and heavy estate management. Casual observers noted that he looked visibly drained in recent interviews, but his team maintained an ironclad narrative. The boss is in the best shape of his life. That ironclad narrative was completely, irreversibly destroyed during a disastrous, unscripted moment in the middle of a brutal outdoor walk. The nightmare officially detonated at 7:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The weather conditions across the region were brutal, a heavy, freezing rainstorm accompanied by howling winds and near-zero visibility. It was the kind of weather where any medical professional would explicitly advise a veteran artist with a history of heart issues and seizures to stay indoors, warm, and rested. Instead, Rick Ross and his girlfriend decided to execute one of their signature, health is wealth, morning walks through the slippery, rain-slicked perimeter of an outdoor trail. Ross's girlfriend pulled out her phone, opened Instagram, and initiated an unannounced live stream. Over 180,000 viewers flooded the broadcast within seconds, expecting to see the usual lighthearted banter, luxury flexes, and motivational fitness quotes. Instead, what popped up on screen sent an immediate, cold wave of absolute horror straight through the live chat. The camera was shaking wildly in the heavy wind and rain. In the frame stood Rick Ross, but he looked completely unrecognizable. His face was drenched, not just from the pouring rain, but from heavy, cold sweat pouring off his forehead. His eyes were wide, glassy, and filled with an intense, agonizing look of disorientation and pain. Ross was leaning heavily against a wooden fence post, his chest heaving violently up and down as he struggled to draw a single breath of air into his lungs. His voice, usually a booming, deep baritone, was reduced to a raspy, painful, wheezing whisper. Health. Health is wealth, baby. Ross gasped into the freezing wind, trying desperately to force his signature smile for the live camera. But his face twitched, his hand gripped his chest through his wet jacket, and he stumbled sideways on the slippery pavement. The live comment section erupted into total, chaotic pandemonium. Viewers were spamming emergency emojis and typing frantically, "Somebody call an ambulance. He can't breathe. Turn the camera off. He's having a breakdown." Ross's girlfriend, clearly realizing the situation was spiraling out of control, panicked in real time. Her voice trembled as she called out his name. "William? William, look at me. Are you okay? Do we need to stop?" Ross tried to push himself forward, taking 2 slow, painful steps, but his knees visibly buckled beneath his weight. He let out a low, guttural groan, leaning his entire body against a tree trunk just to stay upright in the pouring rain. Then came the first massive, terrifying twist that turned this live fitness struggle into an immediate medical emergency. As Ross's girlfriend frantically adjusted the camera angle to hide his face, she accidentally panned the lens down toward the ground, exposing a small, black medical device that had fallen out of Ross's jacket pocket onto the wet mud. It was a portable, high-grade emergency oxygen saturation monitor and prescription nitroglycerin pouch, a specialized medical kit explicitly prescribed to patients experiencing severe cardiovascular distress or acute angina. The entire internet shattered into absolute, uncontrolled panic. Millions of viewers zoomed in on the screenshot, confirming the medical labeling live on stream. Ross wasn't just doing a tough walk in bad weather. He was walking through a freezing rainstorm while actively carrying heavy-duty emergency cardiac medication. Ross's girlfriend let out a sharp gasp, frantically scrambled to pick up the medical kit, and immediately ended the live stream, leaving over 200,000 viewers staring at a black screen in utter, paralyzed horror. Within minutes of the stream cutting off, the short video clip was ripped, saved, and uploaded across X, TikTok, and YouTube, racking up an astonishing 35 million views in under 2 hours. Panic erupted inside Rick Ross's inner circle in Miami and Atlanta. Leaked messages from staff members at the Promised Land indicated that emergency personal medical staff stationed on the property were rushed out to the trail to assist Ross back into the main residence. The illusion of the invincible, untouchable biggest boss had been completely, utterly shattered in front of a global audience. The terrifying live stream leak didn't stay contained as a quiet health concern. It instantly escalated into a full-scale, ruthless media war. News platforms, health blogs, and entertainment commentary channels went into complete overdrive, analyzing every single second of the harrowing rainstorm footage. The hashtags #PrayForRoss, #RossHealthExposed, and #HealthIsWealthLeak were trending at the absolute top of global metrics. Then came the second, massive, unexpected twist that turned an already heartbreaking medical scare into a toxic, escalating confrontation. Instead of expressing sympathy or quiet concern, Rick Ross's longtime rivals and enemies seized on the leaked footage to launch a relentless, public campaign of mockery and humiliation. 50 Cent immediately jumped onto Instagram, reposting the clip of Ross gasping for air in the rain alongside a sarcastic, ruthless video reaction. 50 Cent sat in his luxury car, shaking his head and laughing into the camera lens. "I told y'all, grinning squinting face health is wealth, right? Man is out there fighting for his life against a drizzle of rain. You can't fake cardiovascular health, Ricky. You can't buy new lungs with a 50% discount ticket. Put the camera down and go see a doctor, boy." The boss persona is expired. The internet completely exploded into a war zone. 50 Cent's post garnered hundreds of thousands of comments, dividing the hip-hop community down the middle between those crying for Ross's health and those joining in on the relentless trolling. Inside Rick Ross's camp, an atmosphere of total, paranoid breakdown took over. Ross was hit with a double strike. He was dealing with an active physical health crisis while simultaneously watching his lifetime legacy and public identity get torn to shreds by his worst enemies. Driven by intense rage, humiliation, and desperation to regain control of his brand, Ross made a dangerous, catastrophic decision against the explicit advice of his personal medical team. At 12:30 p.m., Ross fired up an emergency Instagram story directly from his indoor study. He was sitting in a high-backed leather chair, wearing a heavy designer tracksuit, trying desperately to look composed, strong, and unbothered. "Y'all crazy," Ross rasped, his voice still visibly weak and hoarse. "I'm out here in the rain getting my mind right. I do 5 miles in the storm while you bloggers sit on the couch. I'm in the best shape of my life. Don't let these internet clowns trick you." It was supposed to be a powerful, defensive flex to prove his strength and silence the haters. But as Ross was speaking, an unexpected, horrifying slip-up occurred live on camera that ruined his entire cover-up. As Ross raised his arm to adjust his sunglasses, the sleeve of his tracksuit pulled back, revealing an active, clear hospital identification bracelet still wrapped tightly around his wrist, complete with an official medical admission timestamp from that very morning. The internet caught the slip-up in real time. Thousands of viewers screenshot the hospital wristband, zooming in to read the official emergency room intake code. Ross had literally walked out of an emergency room medical evaluation, put on a tracksuit, and sat in front of a camera to lie to his fans about his condition. Feeling completely exposed and cornered, Ross abruptly deleted the video story after just 4 minutes, plunging the entire hip-hop world into deep, eerie suspense. The global media landscape erupted into an absolute, unprecedented frenzy as news of the hospital wristbands spread like wildfire. The entertainment industry was deeply, painfully divided over how to handle the escalating tragedy. On one side, a massive wave of genuine concern and emotional support poured in from legendary artists, hip-hop pioneers, and loyal fans. Major figures posted heartfelt messages, urging Ross to put his health first and disregard the online noise. Rick Ross is a cultural icon who gave us 20 years of classic music, one viral tweet with over 180,000 likes read. Watching people mock a man who is clearly going through a severe health crisis is disgusting. Forget the rap beef. Forget the boss persona. We just want William Roberts to stay alive. On the opposing side, internet trolls and rival fan bases continued to weaponize the situation, creating viral memes mocking Ross's "health is wealth" slogan and editing footage of his rainstorm walk into comedic skits. Medical experts and fitness influencers began analyzing the leaked video clips on YouTube, breaking down the visible signs of acute physical distress. Cardiovascular specialists weighed in on news broadcasts, warning that exercising in extreme cold or rainy weather with underlying heart conditions and unmanaged hypertension can trigger fatal cardiac events. Major brands and event organizers who had booked Ross for upcoming festival dates began holding private, emergency meetings. Promoters expressed deep anxiety off the record, fearing that Ross's physical condition made him a massive liability for live stage performances. Meanwhile, social media metrics broke all-time records. Reaction channels streaming live breakdowns of the hospital wristband screenshot drew hundreds of thousands of concurrent viewers. The public was reaching a fever pitch of anxiety, waiting for an official, verified medical statement from Ross's team or his family. But the silence coming from the Promised Land estate was deafening. Just when the world believed this painful medical drama had reached its absolute limit, a brand new, jaw-dropping revelation dropped that completely flipped the entire narrative on its head and sent shockwaves through the industry. At 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, an official statement was posted on Rick Ross's verified social media channels, not by Ross himself and not by his publicist, but signed directly by his personal medical board and family representatives. The official statement dropped a bombshell announcement that stunned the entire world. Rick Ross is officially stepping away from all public appearances, canceling all upcoming concert dates, and entering an immediate, indefinite total medical rest and cardiac rehabilitation program at a private facility. The statement explicitly confirmed that Ross had experienced an acute physical event triggered by extreme overexertion and environmental exposure, forcing his medical team to intervene and mandate complete physical isolation. Read that again. The boss has been officially grounded by his own doctors. But here is the final, terrifying twist that leaves the entire story hanging on a knife edge. Sources close to the private medical team revealed off the record that as part of his emergency treatment protocol, doctors have officially confiscated all of Ross's mobile phones, tablets, and communication devices, completely cutting him off from social media, his label, and the outside world. Rick Ross is completely dark. The man who spent 20 years controlling every single narrative, posting every single day, and fighting off every single enemy is now locked in a private medical facility, unable to respond, unable to post, and unable to defend his empire. 50 Cent posted a final, cryptic message on his page just moments ago, a photo of an empty throne sitting in a dark room, captioned with 3 simple words: "Silence in the kingdom." Will Rick Ross overcome this terrifying physical crisis and return to reclaim his crown? Or is this the official, heartbreaking end of the Biggest Boss era forever? Stay locked in, because part 2 of this developing story is dropping next, and we will bring you every single update as it happens. What a shocking turn of events. What do you think about this terrifying medical situation? Should rivals like 50 Cent back off and respect his health battle? Or is Ross pushing himself too hard for the internet? Drop your prayers and unfiltered thoughts in the comments right now. I'm replying to everyone down below. If you want the latest breaking updates on part 2 the second it leaks, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on all notification bells so you don't miss a thing. Stay tuned.